I absolutely loved Ghostrunner back when it launched in 2020, giving it a 9 out of 10 and calling it one of the year's best gaming surprises. Now, the game is even better, as the devs have done a great job supporting it with a bunch of free updates to add new features and modes, several cool paid cosmetic DLCs, and next-gen console versions. Heck, they even went and announced a full-on sequel surprisingly quickly while they were at it. But while that's almost definitely still a few years away, they still have one last surprise to give the original game its swan song. This is Ghostrunner Project Hel.
Restraints released.
Can you hear me, machine?
Affirmative.
Get moving. Let's see how bad it's gotten. What will happen after you die?
I won't die.
Clarify.
I am not alive.
I don't want to fight you!
Roll over and die, then.
This is bad! We're surrounded!
You exist out of convenience, not necessity. The moment you convince me you're a threat, I will destroy you.
Are you ready to obey? Me neither.
Ghostrunner Project Hel is an expansion to the brilliant cyber slasher Ghostrunner, and the game's final piece of major DLC. In it, you play as, well, Hel, a lethal cyber android who fans will remember as one of the toughest adversaries in the base game. The expansion was developed by One More Level, Slipgate Ironworks, 3D Realms, and All In Games, and published by 505 Games, and is currently available on every platform the main game's on for $14.99. Heads up everybody, even though this DLC is a prequel, it assumes you've already finished the main game, so there's gonna be a couple minor spoilers in here for the original campaign. If you haven't finished it yet and you don't want anything spoiled, go finish it, it's really good. Alright, the story of Project Hel begins with Hel being activated in order to deal with Keymaster Mara's enemies, including the rebel climbers and some of her own soldiers who decided not to be complete oppressive bastards. Now, unlike Jack from the main game, Hel is fully robotic and has no humanity, which is reflected in both her personality and voice. She's cold, filled with rage, and is relentless in her pursuit of her enemies.
It's okay, man. We're gonna be okay. Die, Key!
Weak.
Oh god, oh god, oh god.
Who is your leader? Where is he? Who?
Jack! It's Jack from Sector 5.
That doesn't mean she's one-dimensional though. Hel actually goes through a compelling character arc here, becoming progressively more disobedient as the story goes on. Hell, pun intended. They even managed to make me feel for her by the end of it, and there's a couple of nice twists along the way.
The moment you convince me you're a threat, I will destroy you.
Cut the crap. You need me. And as long as I kill your enemies, you will let me do as I please.
What's also great is that this DLC gives us a chance to explore more of Dharma's history and learn about the events leading up to the start of Jack's story. We get to learn more about the Keymaster's regime, meet some interesting new characters, and even spend some more time with a couple of returning favorites. The world building here is just as fascinating as the main game, and it's particularly awesome to, witness the fall of the climbers from Hel's perspective. Overall, this is a short but badass story about Hel's rise to power, and should be enough to please anyone looking to learn more about Ghostrunner's brutal cyberpunk world. It's no secret that Ghostrunner is a great looking game, and thankfully Project Hel continues that trend. Even with a lot of the same gray metal corridors and without the gorgeous cyber void sections, there's still a decent amount of variety given the short length of this DLC. There's large cityscapes filled with ads and propaganda, disturbing tech labs filled with God knows what, and a couple of other neat areas I won't discuss here. There's also plenty of detail in environments and various awesome visual effects, along with some great ray tracing if your platform of choice supports it. All in all, Dharma is still a gritty dystopian treat for the eyes, so I think most people will be more than satisfied. Ghostrunner's gameplay is as fast, fun, and badass as ever, and returning players should feel right at home. That being said, while it's nothing drastic, Hel does play differently enough from Jack to feel distinct. Movement still consists of high-speed platforming and wall running. However, Hel's base jump can go a lot higher and farther than Jack's can. Additionally, instead of a grappling hook, Hel has the ability to perform a far jump in midair, allowing her to leap between distant walls, enemies, and platforms. This playstyle means you'll be spending a lot more time airborne than in the base game, and constantly raining down terror on your enemies from above. Speaking of which, combat has had a bit of an overhaul. You still slash up fools and can deflect bullets with your sword, and it's still one hit, one kill. However, unlike Jack, Hel is fueled purely by rage, and killing enemies fills up the appropriately named rage meter, which allows Hel to use Surge, an awesomely powerful ranged ability that's great for dispatching enemies too far away to stab. Filling your rage over halfway also gives Hel a temporary shield that will protect her from one otherwise killing blow, which is great for when things get hectic, and believe me, they get hectic a lot. The interesting Tetris-style upgrade system from the main campaign returns here, and it's still both fun and irritating to try and make the most efficient build. The amount of room you have to play with and the number of upgrades you have increases as the DLC goes on. These upgrades can do a variety of awesome things, from giving you a second dash, to letting you build your rage meter faster, and even drastically upping the power of Surge. There's also a new twist where if you avoid covering certain blocks, your rage becomes a lot more powerful, encouraging you to use a build with upgrades you wouldn't think to put together. Like I said before, Project Hel expects you to have played the base game before, and this becomes very clear early on. In addition to originally late game enemies appearing in some of the first encounters, there's also some fun new baddies to learn how to counter, including these deadly hammer guys and annoying jetpack dudes who keep moving before I can stab them. Despite that, Hel is insanely powerful, and it feels incredible to absolutely decimate large groups of enemies. So to keep up the challenge, enemy encounters usually combine several different enemy types, and you need to be on top of your game in order to dodge past bullets and identify which ones to take out first. The game even encourages you to avoid killing enemies in one level, but whether or not you do is up to you. I know what I did.
Status report.
The number of mutineers neutralized so far, 15.
How is that avoiding casualties?
I failed.
What?
One of my only real criticisms of Ghostrunner when I first reviewed it was the boss fights, which with the exception of the second one, often became more frustrating than fun. Thankfully, this has been addressed in Project Hel, and I'm happy to say that the two fights here are well done and feel properly designed around Hel's more agile abilities. They're just difficult enough to keep you on your toes, but have well-placed checkpoints to prevent any frustration. I found the second one particularly memorable, and while I won't show it here, it served as a fitting finale to this DLC and changed things up in a great way, even feeling more like a bullet hell at one point. If you like exploring for hidden secrets, Project Hel has you covered. The same collectible types from the base game return, and they're just as fun to track down here. Hel may not have anywhere near as many swords to collect as Jack, but the ones here still look awesome and are worth finding. Artifacts continue to expand the world bit by bit, and audio logs dive deeper into character motivations, while also being pretty entertaining to listen to.
Yeah, hello? This the Keymaster? Chief Engineer Hodge here. Listen, I ain't got time for red tape bullshit. I've been somehow keeping this bugger running for the last 40 years, but I'm not a fucking magician, you know.
All of these collectibles are well hidden though, and are often placed in areas that don't look accessible at first glance or hidden behind some short but fun puzzle, meaning you'll probably miss a lot of them on your first playthrough if you aren't using a guide. With just how much fun this DLC is, it's a shame how quickly it's over. I finished all 7 levels in about 2 hours, and that was with a fair amount of secret hunting. I still had enough fun to make it worth the price in my opinion, but whether or not you feel the same is up to you. So yeah, while this DLC adds a lot of awesome new abilities and ideas, I just wish we got to use/explore them more. Ghostrunner's soundtrack immediately found a place in my favorites when I first heard it. Its cyber-sounding awesomeness makes it one I've kept coming back to, and Project Hel continues that trend. Composer Deluxe has returned with 6 fantastic new tracks to obliterate puny humans to. They really fit Hel's more aggressive personality, and I've been jamming to them ever since I finished the DLC. You can pick them up over on Bandcamp, and I'd recommend doing that because they're pretty sweet. Ghostrunner Project Hel is a brilliant expansion to one of 2020's best games. It gives you a brutally powerful new character to play with, and a great prequel story to follow, giving more context behind the original's already fascinating narrative. Its gameplay may not be dramatically different from the main game, but there's just enough badass new abilities to master, difficult enemies to conquer, and world-building collectibles to find to set it apart. All of that combined with the still awesome visuals and excellent soundtrack make it easy to justify returning to Dharma one final time, at least until the sequel comes out. Overall, Project Hel is a short but sweet expansion to bring you back into Ghostrunner's world, and a fond farewell for an absolutely amazing game.
I was ordered not to kill you. Are you ready to obey?
I'll never stand down while innocent lives...
Me neither. Commander Adrian Bakunin has been apprehended. Target is awaiting extraction at Upper Ratna Plaza.
Right.
Alright, and with that, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, subscribe for more videos coming soon, and until next time, remember, welcome to the future, it's gonna kill you. See you next time, everyone.